Morning, yogis. Good morning. Carrie, Christina, Ed, Monica, Christine, nice to see you. Happy Sunday. All right, let's see if we got that okay. The mat in there? Cool. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, good morning. So we're going to start in a quick meditation this morning. We're going to do something a little different. And if you maybe freaked out when I said that, cool, perfect. It's only going to be for a few minutes. I just want to clear before we start this class, my hot water tank has not been working for the last few days. So of course, the only timeline that I could get was between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. today. So there's a good chance that someone's going to knock on the door for my hot water tank in the middle of this class. So if I have to get up and do that, it'll only take a couple minutes to let them in. I'll put you in a pose or a fold or something, and I'll deal with that if it happens. And we're going to hope it doesn't happen. So just sitting up nice and tall, find a comfortable seat. You can sit however feels good to you. You can place your hands on your legs, in your lap. Just close your eyes. Just as a first pose, finding a moment of connection to your breath. Putting the focus on the sound of your breath, the length of your breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Practice of yoga really as a tool to connect to yourself internally, not just physically. The asana poses are a tool as well, like as a way to get present. Your breath, your pranayama is another tool for that. During this next 60 minutes, coming back to your breath as often as you need to. Take a deep inhale. A deep exhale. Let's do 5 more breaths. If your mind wanders, use that next breath to center yourself again. Free of meaning. Starting that next breath. Full inhale. Full exhale. Take one more breath in. Open your mouth, let that go. Reach your arms up over your head. You can interlace your fingers, push your palms up, get a big stretch. Just move right into downward facing dog. Start there. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. Creating a connection to your yoga mat through your hands and through your feet. Connecting to your breath. Moment by moment, breath by breath. That's where the practice happens. You catch yourself getting ahead, thinking about later today, later in the poses, wondering when they're going to be over, what's next. Catch it. It's not bad. Your mind might go to different places, and the practice is to keep bringing it back to this breath. One breath at a time.
Inhale. Exhale. Do that again. Empty. One more. Really press down. Get a stretch through the back of the body. Walk up to your hands. Ragdoll. Grab opposite elbows, biceps, and just let the upper body dangle down. Breathe. Getting clear at the beginning of your practice of what might be there as a distraction is a really good thing to do if you have something on your mind. Getting clear on what it is, how much attention it's trying to take. The asana practice, the physical practice of yoga is one of those tools, one of the limbs of yoga, really to keep you in this moment by connecting to your physical body. Breath, another tool, breathing in the present moment, not in the future, not in the past. Life unfolds breath by breath, yogis. Keep reconnecting to that. Inhale. Exhale. When you're aware of what might be distracting you, you'll be more present to it when it pops up. More quick to let it go. Just to come back. Right here, right now. As you exhale your next breath, bring your fingertips down to the mat. Big toes are touching. And come up to a flat back, lengthen the spine. Fold forward. Extended mountain pose. Press your feet, reach your fingertips. Stretch and fold. Halfway lift, long spine. Step back to a high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Low push up, lower down. Upward facing dog, point your toes back, lift your chest forward. Downward facing dog. Breath. The eyes are open, your attention, your visual focus out here in the room that you're in. Maybe you're outside. That might be a thing soon enough. Or maybe it already is where you are. See one thing. Breathe in. Breathe out. Move a little bit slower today than we have maybe some weekends, some Sundays. I'm just like taking time. If it's making you antsy to move a little slower, perfect. Do that work. Lift your heels, bend your knees, empty out your lungs. Look between your hands and then step there. Halfway lift on the breath in. Fold on the breath out. Extended mountain pose. Reach your fingertips up. Fold forward. Pull back into your legs. Long spine. Draw the belly button in. High to low push-up. Step back. Lower down. Upward facing dog. Chest pulls through your arms. Downward facing dog. Lead with your hips back. Breathe in. Root down. Steady breath. Focused eyes. Firm foundation through the hands and the feet. Breath by breath. As you catch a shift in your focus, you come back to the next breath. Simple work, ongoing work. Even once you step off your yoga mat, how often are you present to what's happening right in that moment that you're breathing? How often are you in the past and in the future? Only you know. Keep doing the work of bringing yourself back to this moment. And then this one. Lift your heels and bend your knees as you exhale. Step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Extended mountain, sweep up, take a big full body stretch. You can go back a little bit. Fold. Lengthen. High to low, push up, step back. With your exhale, you lower down, keep the elbows in. Upward facing dog, press down. Downward facing dog. Empty out. Take a breath in. Breath out. Do that again. Empty. Lift up. Bend your knees. Look forward and then step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold. Really hug into your legs. Chair pose. Sink down. Draw the arm bones back by your ears. Sit into your seat. Let your shin bones sink back a little bit. 3 breaths in and out. Spark your fingers, all 10 of them, spread them, reach them up. Sit your tailbone deeper. Take one more big breath in. Exhale, hands down, hips up. Flat back. High to low push-up, step back, lower down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward. Warrior one, reach up. Check the right hip didn't come too far forward. You want to square your hips, sink down into your right knee. Find the 4 corners of both feet, your big toe, pinky toe mounds, press, inner ankles, outer ankles. Breathe. Go as deep as you need to in the lunge. You're waking up the legs, stretching out the side body. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath. Reach up. Plant your hands. High to low push up. Breath. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Breathe. Draw the left hip back, right hip forward. Sink down into your left knee. Inhale. And exhale. Reach up. See if you
Need to go deeper to get more present, more physicality in the body. Hugging in. 2 more breaths. Reach. Hold the lunge. Last one, big stretch up. Hands down, lower down. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath. Audible breath. Intentional breath. Using it as a tool to keep yourself right here. Fill up your lungs. Empty them out. Take 3 more breaths. Maybe widen your stance, lengthen your stance. Find as much stretch right here as you can. Feeling out every inch of your body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend your knees as your lungs empty. Step to the top of your mat. Flat back, lengthen out the spine. Fold, hug into your legs. Chair pose. Just the breath in, sink down, keep filling. Fold. Halfway lift. High to low push-up with your breath. Use the whole exhale. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Right foot, warrior 1. Step through. Reach up. High to low. Push up with breath. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Left side. Use your breath. Reach for it. And flow. Upward. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Focus your gaze. Building heat in the body. Physical awareness. In and out. Lift onto your toes. Bend your knees. Step between your hands. Lengthen your spine. Empty to a fold. Chair. As you breathe in, sit down. Fold. Empty it out. Flat back. High to low. With the exhale, use that full breath. Upward facing dog. Left. Downward facing dog. Right foot, warrior 1. Use the inhale. Reach for it. And flow. Move with your breath. Breath by breath, yogi. Feel the flow. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Step through. Reach up. And flow. Upward facing. Take a child's pose. Knees wide, sit back onto your heels. Just land for a moment. Check back into your body. How does it feel? Check back into your mind. How are your thoughts? Are they distracted? Are they critical? Are they present? Are they positive? Letting your thoughts help you. Letting your thoughts lift you up, keep you moving forward instead of letting them be detrimental. It's one of the practices, non-harming, being kind to yourself, being kind to others, but it really starts with the kindness internally. Things aren't going the way that you expect or you want. Like, what do you make it mean? How hard are you on yourself? Breath by breath. Opportunity to shift it, to make it something that lifts you up, instead of something that cuts you down. Downward facing dog. Take your time to get there, hips back. Press down through the hands and feet. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feet together. Put your right foot up. Step your foot between your hands. We're going to do a little bit different flow this morning. Come down onto your left knee. I'm feeling like this is going to be more of like a deep flow, so hopefully you're down with that. We're going to move through some of the lizard sequence this morning. So walk your foot out closer to the right side of your mat. You're on your left knee, and you can even walk that knee back a little further to get more of the stretch through the hip. And then turn your right toes out to like 1 or 2 o'clock, and you're going to open up that right knee. So it's like letting the right knee fall out to the right side. You should feel that wake up your right hip. Really getting it as deep as you need it to be, okay? So if this isn't enough, you can also come down onto your forearms, which is going to deepen it considerably. Also forearms on a block if you have one, or even a bolster, a rolled up blanket if that's something that's nearby. Keep the left toes curled under here to support the knee a bit more. If you want even more stretch through the body, you can start to draw the left heel towards your left bum cheek. It's waking up that left leg even more. Sitting right here in this stretch, this is an option. The more you open that right knee, you'll feel this. The more you draw the left heel in, you'll feel something. You can just let your head go. Breathe. If you know dragon pose, if you want to move into that, you can take your right hand for your left ankle, reaching up and over. Keep your core muscles engaged here. You're supporting your low back. Oh, remember the last time I did this? It's tight. Feel the areas of your body that might be resistant to it and breathe into that spot. Land the breath, land the focus there. Create more openness. And if something's pinching, if it doesn't feel right, then don't force anything. Take one step back. Compassion. Understanding that your body might not be exactly where your brain wants it to be. It might be more capable. It might be a little bit less. Don't make that less than. Like something's wrong. Just is. Breathe through it. Inhale. And exhale. Long neck. Long spine. Couple more. In.
and out. Last breath right here. Twist. Plant your hands. Let that back foot come down, and you'll turn your right foot back to 12 o'clock. Straighten out your right leg, sit back onto your left heel, so like a runner's stretch. You'll point your right toes up towards the ceiling. Keep your spine long, as opposed to like rounding it forward. Keep that like length through the crown of the head. Flex your toes back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Pulling the right toes back towards your right shin. Feel that stretch. You might be able to sit deeper than me. I've got some tightness in my left knee, so that's my mobility. Chest drawing forward. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come back forward into a low lunge. Plant your hands. And then step back. High to low push-up. You can keep your knees on the ground. You can have them lifted. Upward facing dog, chest forward. Downward facing dog, hips back. Breathe in. And breathe out. Step your left foot to the top of your mat, to the outside of your left hand, and then come down onto your right knee. So finding that low lunge. Find the right spot. Again, that knee might have landed in one place. You can maybe get it further back. That's going to activate more stretch. So see if that's what you want, what your body wants. Left toes turn out, and then let that left knee open out to the side. Keep active through that front leg. And again, options in your body. You can maybe come down to the forearms. Forearms on a block. You might need on this side if you didn't on the other. And then again, option for the back leg to come in. And just sit here. Even if you went to dragon pose on the other side, give this a few breaths, okay? So feeling this. Right heel in. Left knee out. Steady the gaze. Breath by breath. Feeling what comes up. Maybe this wasn't the practice you were expecting. Yeah, sorry, not sorry, right? There's like 52 other Journey into Power sequences from the past 52 Sundays. I think this is about a year we've been doing this, just over a year maybe. I actually don't know when the anniversary was, but it's been since March of last year. I've been doing this every Sunday. I think I've only missed 2. Option for dragon. So like there's options there. If you follow me on social media, you may have seen like I've just been taking a space from YouTube, from social media. It's felt like it was needed. Going through a bit of, some challenges mentally, physically for these last few weeks. And my work has just been breath by breath, going with the flow. Things coming to light and just moving through them, trying to make sense of them. Different isn't bad unless you determine that it is, unless you decide that. You tell yourself that, and it's true. 3 more breaths. In and out. Do that again. Deep in if it feels good. 1 more breath. And release the back foot if you've got a hold of it. Just taking your time to come out of this. You'll bring your left foot back to 12 o'clock. Moving into that runner stretch, you'll sit back onto your right heel. Got a lot more mobility on this side than I do on the other. Your body might not be even from side to side. That's okay. Flex that left foot actively. And again, keeping a tall spine. So the tendency might be kind of to slouch forward. Keep chest forward, Crown of the head pulling away from the tailbone. Long spine, long neck. Flex the foot. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take a few more breaths here, really feeling that in the hamstring on the left side. Nice stretch through the back, through the spine. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more big flex. Stay for your breath out. Come forward. Plant your hands. High to low push-up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Pedal out your knees. Breathe in. Breathe out. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. Reach up. Open, warrior two. Stretch your arms. We're going to move into triangle pose from here. So straighten out the right leg. Reach forward with your right fingers. And then you'll come down to the outside of your foot with your hand. It's a good place to have a block if you have one. If you don't have one, palm on the front of your shin also works. Pressing down through that palm and pressing your shin into the palm if you're not using a block, okay? With the block, you can be like light on your fingers. You don't need to be putting all the weight down. It's like trying to find that stretch up through the top hand. Opening across the front of the chest. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Option here too, if you want to like make a line from that bottom ankle on your left foot all the way up to your left fingertips, like reaching up over the head, stretching through the side body a bit more. Breathe in, breathe out, reach yogi. Draw your left shoulder back just a little bit. If your knees got rigid, if they're locked out, make sure there's a little bit of flexibility there, a little bit of malleability, softness. Reach, stretch. Bring your hand back up towards the ceiling. Look up. You'll pull yourself up to stand on your next inhale. Turn your right toes in. Then move into a wide leg fold. We're going to take a stretch here. So going from side to side. Start by walking your hands over to your left foot. Grab your left foot and your left ankle. Like maybe your right hand grabs the outer edge of the foot, the left hand to the ankle, and then start to draw your forehead towards your left shin. So as you stretch this, you'll feel this hopefully through the right side of your body, the right side of your torso, and also through the back of the left leg, really pressing through that left foot a lot. Softening through the knees, just a little tiny bit. Breathe in. Deep in that stretch. Go as far as you need to. Inhale. Exhale. Again. Go deeper. One more. Walk your hands back through center. Go over to the right foot, keeping your feet parallel to the ends of your mat, so you're not pointing the toes, turning them out, okay? Keep them turned parallel. Again, grab like left hand to your right foot, right hand to your right ankle. Draw your forehead towards your shin or your knee. Wherever you get to, just like feeling a side body stretch through the left side of your torso and then that stretch through the back of the right leg. Breathe in. Breathe out. Keep breathing. Generous breath. moment by moment, breath by breath. So easy to get caught up in what's happened in the past and worried about what's coming in the future, what to do, what's right, what's wrong. Clarity comes in this moment where you're breathing, yogi. What I've been finding anyway. I get caught up in what's happened before. There might be lessons to learn. It can also be overwhelming, disheartening. Just like the future, who knows what the future holds? Spending too much time there, theorizing, worrying, anticipating, you miss out on what's actually happening right here. Breathe in and breathe out. Bring your hands back to center. You'll walk them back through your legs this time. So palms on the mat. Let the crown of the head go. Really do that. You don't need to hold it up. No crunching up the back of your neck. Just let the weight of the head dangle down. Press your feet down and lift up through the tailbone. You might need to shift, or you might want to shift your hips forward just a little bit, like more work through the legs, maybe not. Taking your hips behind your heels a little bit will make it a bit less intense. What do you need right here? What is your body asking? Breathe in and breathe out. Come back, hands to center. Walk your hands over towards your right foot and turn your right toes forward. Left toes, you can step your back foot in a little bit. You don't need to step it in too much. And then option here, we're in pyramid pose. Option to increase the intensity, you can lift your front toes off the mat, okay? So this is gonna bring more hamstring stretch. And again, keeping a spine that's straight. So, I mean, if you really want to round forward, that might feel nice. That's your choice, of course. I'm not forcing you to do anything here. Option 2 to keep the crown of the head drawing forward, so like a longer spine. You might be on like spider fingers, like on the tips of the fingers, give you a bit more space. Whether your foot's down or your toes are lifted, just like keeping that right hip bone pulling back to activate more stretch. Breathe in. Breathe out. Couple more. Left foot pushes down. Draw back through your toes on the right foot if they're lifted. One more breath in. One more breath out. Ground the right foot. Plant your hands. Step back. High to low push up. With breath. Upward facing dog. Press down. Downward facing dog. Left foot. Warrior 1. Reach your arms up. Open. Warrior 2. Triangle pose. Straighten out the leg. Reach forward. Keep reaching. Stretch the side body. Grab your block if you have one. Or palm to shin is an option. It works. Generating space through the sides of the body. I want to be aware. Trying not to have like a crunching kind of gross feeling in the side, like the bottom side of your body, the left side here. So like lengthening, that's where the block creates space. Option here for a few breaths to take the right hand up over, like creating that long line from your right ankle to your right fingertips. Right shoulder blade wraps back. Check that your knees aren't locked out. Breathe and twist. In and out. reach, stretch. A couple more. Reach your hand back up to the ceiling, look up, see your fingers. Pull yourself back up to stand. Wide leg fold, turn your left toes in, feet parallel. Take a bind, interlace the hands at your low back, push your knuckles down, fold over your legs. Press your knuckles up. Really feel the activation in the legs here, pressing through the feet. If the bind is too much, if it's too much work, too active, like if you're maybe enjoying a little bit less, then your hands can be down on the ground again. Feeling this in my shoulders feels nice, like flossing out the shoulders here. Breathe. Full breath in. Full breath out. Breath by breath. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Release the hands down. Turn your toes forward. And again, the back foot might come in a little bit. Not too much. Pyramid pose. Draw their left hip bone back. And then option if you want more stretch through the hamstring, it's lifting up the toes on that left foot. And just find that right spot for you, like a big stretch. Neither one of your knees is locked out, yogi, okay? So just check in, like different than hyperextension. You can see that in my back leg, right? Just take a little tiny micro bend. Keeping the hips square. Right hip forward, left hip back. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. A little bit more weight in that back foot, lifting the toes on the left side if you're doing that, or you're grounding through the left foot as well. Stretching the spine. Breathe in. Breathe out. Again. Couple more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Plant your hands. Step back. High to low push-up with your exhale. Lower down. Upward facing dog. Take child's pose. Sit onto your heels. Just a few breaths. Check in. How do your hips feel? How's your body feeling? Where's your mind been taking you? I didn't actually come into the class anticipating doing a deep flow. It's just kind of what my body asked for, what my mind has been needing lately. It's to slow down. It's so easy for me to fill my day up with nothingness, like just going, doing things that don't matter. Slowing down sometimes, I'm just finding how important. I mean, I know things I know, right? Things that I'm aware of, but knowing something and actually doing it, experiencing it are two different things. Knowing what's right and actually doing what's right are not always things that line up, for me anyway. Come forward to a high push-up. Lower all the way down to your belly. We're going to move into Sphinx pose. So your forearms on the ground. Elbows are underneath the shoulders. And then from here, this, you can start right here, and there's like it's not a really intense pose, just letting yourself land where your body lands it. Generally, there won't be too much going on when you just first start out. I know for me, what starts to activate this is by kind of scrubbing the elbows back towards the hips. So you imagine you're pressing through your forearms, but dragging energetically the elbows back towards your hips. And at the same time, your chest kind of pulling through that window of your arms, chest forward. And then the more you do that, the more you activate it. It doesn't require a lot of movement for it to deepen. But yeah, chest forward, elbows back towards the hips. Lengthen the spine and the neck. Keep breathing. Close your eyes. Bring your focus internal to where the body is experiencing sensations. Bring it to the sound of the breath. Focus the breath to those areas. Shoulders back. Chest forward, and don't go too far. If something starts pinching, if you start to feel uncomfortable, like not in the good way, pain, pinching, none of that, all you have to do is just soften a little bit, less scrubbing through the elbows, less dragging through the chest forward, right? Like feel that, what you need. 3 more, in and out. Long neck. Deep breaths. 1 more, in and out. Come down. I'm going to do half frog on each side for a few breaths. So I'll do the left side first. You can do either side so you can see it a bit better. So you're going to take your right knee out to the side, looking for a 90-degree bend at the hip crease, 90-degree bend at the knee and the ankle. So you're not pointing the toe back, okay? You want to flex your toes out to the whatever side your leg is bent out on. Cactus the arms, so like that bend. Same thing, bend at the elbow, bend at the shoulder. Whatever cheek feels good, you can bring down to the floor. Breathing. Breath by breath. Intentional breathing. One of the factors here to bring into your yoga practice and really anywhere in your life. Your life unfolds breath by breath. When you're anxious, when you're nervous, I know for me the tendency will be to like shorten my breath, get shallow, hold my breath sometimes without even realizing it. Clarity, ease comes from just coming back, deep intentional breaths. Switch sides. So you'll straighten out whatever leg's bent and then do the other side. 90-degree bend at the hip crease, at the knee, at the ankle. Resting one cheek on your mat. And just breathe. Check in with where your thoughts take you. When things aren't going as you expected, as you had envisioned, as you had hoped for, what does your mind make of it? Beyond that, the awareness of what your mind makes of it, how much attention do you give to that? How worked up do you get about it? Meaning you put on it. Breath by breath, it's choices, where you put your attention, what you make important. And you might not always make, arguably the most ideal thing important in any given moment. You might choose in a moment to think critical, to think negative, to do something self-harming, self-depreciating. In that next breath, you either choose to move past that or you choose to stay in the past. You choose to dwell. Beat yourself up for that, bad choice. You're human, yogi. Next breath, new opportunity for a different choice. Bring your chin back to center. Hands by your low ribs. You'll lift into an upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Come down onto your knees, cross your ankles, and just sit down onto your bum. Take a seated forward fold, legs out in front of you, tall spine. Just draw your sit bones back, kind of like plugging your leg bones into your hip sockets there. Fold over your legs. As far as you need to, you can keep the spine tall here, like a straight spine. You might not get that far down. That's okay. You can round it if it feels nice. Just leading with the chest as you fold. Drawing forward through the crown of the head. Just breathe. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Go a little deeper if it's there. Love to sit. Take double pigeon. If you want half pigeon, go for it. I'm going to do double pigeon today. So stacking up the right leg on the bottom to start, left leg on top. Stacking the legs, ankles and knees are stacked, okay? So it's different than sitting cross-legged with the foot inside the crease of the knee. In double pigeon, you want to have the knees and the ankles stacked on top of each other. That's where it might be tight. That's the whole idea, is getting into the stretch, right? You might be way up here. I know for me, this is a pose that really tends to kind of open up as I go. Breathing into it. Just allow your breath to focus in on those tight areas. If you want to start to walk your hands further forward, maybe that fits, maybe it doesn't. You can even just be like resting the elbows on that top leg to deepen it a little bit. Breathe in and breathe out. Just a couple more breaths on this side. Full inhale, full exhale. And switch the legs just from right here. Left leg on the bottom, right leg on top. Ankles and knees stacked. Get the fleshy part of your bum cheeks back and out of the way. This will help to get you a little further into the stretch. Breathe. Breath by breath. How often are you actually present to the breath you're breathing? That changes moment to moment. In the work of your yoga practice, beyond the asana, like out in your life, yoga is a way of life, not an exercise. It's the awareness that sometimes you're not present because you're human. You've got a powerful brain. Moment by moment, choices that you make, where you put that power, where you put that focus. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath. Slowly come back up to sit. Extend both legs out in front of you. Take another seated forward fold here. Just feel the difference in your legs after that. Fold over your legs. Stretch your neck and your spine. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more. Up to sit. You'll move down onto your back. Extend your legs up. So about 10 breaths here to finish up in waterfall. You can take your hands underneath your low back. If you have the block nearby, you can use it as well. Sometimes I just like with my hands there. It's not as much of a lift. Just keeping the legs up in the air. You can open your eyes or close them. Breathe intentionally. How often are you aware of your thoughts? Like actually aware of where they're taking you? As opposed to just kind of going on that journey mindlessly. There's no wrong answer. Maybe your answer is I'm never aware of my thoughts. And then amazing, right? That's an awareness. Start to shift it. If you're present to one breath out of 100 in the day, then that's a step in the direction. Suddenly one breath out of 95 breaths, you start to be more aware. You start to create pattern checking in, getting present, little by little. Start to shift it. Some days might not be as good as the days before. That's okay. That's another awareness. Do better the next day. Do better the next breath. Not dwelling in the past. Breathe in. Bend your knees. Just let your feet dangle for a second. Keep your knees over your hips. And wiggle the toes and ankles. Remove your hands. Drop your knees over to the left side. Supine twist. You can keep your knees stacked today. So get that stretch through the side body. Shoulders stay on your mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come back to center. Shift your hips over to the other side. Drop your knees to the right. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Soles of your feet together, knees open wide. Recline butterfly, the knees open. Press your feet together, draw your heels up towards your groin a little more. Put one hand on your belly, one on your heart. Just a few breaths right here to finish up. Getting ready for corpse pose, the final pose. Present. Intentional breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring your knees together. Give yourself a squeeze. Hug in. And release. Final rest. Eyes are closed. Arms and legs just fall out the side. No muscles working. No tension in the body. Just ease. And breath. I will read from Journey to the Heart, as I've been doing for this last little while now. Discover new beliefs. The drive from Zion National Park to Bruce Canyon in Utah was a short one. I had traveled the same route several times. At a certain pass, no matter how sunny the day and cloudless the sky, it was raining there every time. Although it was hard to see, a small dark cloud seemed to hang over this one particular place, this one area of the road, all the time. It may be like that in a particular area of our lives. A certain belief seems almost stuck to us, stuck to one area of our lives. And no matter how sunny the rest of the drive, it's raining there all the time. What cloud is hanging over you? Could it be one you're helping to create? Some beliefs, my choices are wrong, I make bad decisions, I'm wrong, can create a dark heaviness that hangs over us like a cloud. These beliefs may be so subtle we don't notice them. What we do notice is a lingering pain or anxiety, a cloud that seems to follow us around. What we don't see is that we're helping create and maintain our own cloud with these beliefs. The lesson may not be to make better decisions or be a better person. The lesson may be much simpler. Change your beliefs. Make some new decisions. Let yourself discover some new, better, sunnier beliefs about yourself and your life. Allow yourself to believe that the decisions you make are fine. Who you are is okay. You always have been. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a full body stretch. Bring yourself up to a seated position, sitting tall. Hands at the center of your chest. Take a big breath in together. Open your mouth and let that go. Thumbs to your forehead center. Together we bow. Thank you. Have an awesome rest of your day, yogis. Hopefully you enjoyed that. It might not have been what you were expecting, but it's what I felt like my body needed. Yeah, and just stick around. I will be back doing some content, but I'm just taking my time to kind of get clear on what's going on with me and things that are happening in my world right now. Very grateful for anyone that's out there that flows with me and stays committed to moving their bodies, nourishing your body. That's somewhere where I have been struggling, and it's something, again, I know all of the science, I know all of the things that I should be doing, and it still sometimes can be a struggle to make those things happen. So if you're interested in doing the plant-based challenge with me, that's coming up. The plant-based power-up's happening at the beginning of April. You can find that at my LinkedIn, which is in my Linktree, not my LinkedIn, my Linktree link, which is in the description of the video below. Yeah, check it out. If you're interested in joining me for that, I would love to have you as part of it. And have an awesome rest of your day. Keep moving your body, keep nourishing your body, and stay committed to a mindfulness practice, yeah? Mr. B, hey, come here. Okay, come on. Come over here. Come over here. Yeah, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come say hi. Come say good morning. I'm so glad, Carrie. And Ed, perfect. Glad that you guys loved it. Come here, Christine. Come here, buddy. Come here. There he is. There's the sleepyhead. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. We found that at the bottom of his toy box, that tiger toy, and it's like he's been like living life, playing with that for days now. That's just you that you see. Yeah, that's you. Nothing to get too concerned about. Awesome. I'm glad everyone enjoyed the slower pace. So stick around. There's more stuff coming. I'm not going to guarantee. I said last week it would be this past week, and then things kind of came to light in my community and in my life, and I just didn't want to force anything that wasn't feeling right. So have an awesome rest of your day. And he's pretty sweet. He is. He's ready to pounce at his picture on the computer, though. So maybe I should call it a day. Bye, everybody. Take care.